Alright everyone, and welcome back to the Don's channel. I am the Donfather, and every Thursday it's become tradition now for me to give my AFL predictions on the upcoming round. Well, we're at the preliminary finals now, and first up tomorrow, the Friday the 20th of September, is Richmond versus Geelong at the MCG. Of course, Richmond already went straight through because they had won and they go straight through, and Geelong got a second bite at the cherry after being defeated. They got another chance to get into the prelims, and they came up against West Coast Eagles last week, which they won 88-68. Hi Ian, mate, how's it going? Avon's going really, really well. I've made quite a bit of money this week off door-to-door sales. I'm only messing. But 88-68, Geelong versus West Coast Eagles, which went against my Go Bombers. Bombers are no longer in it, but thanks very much for joining the live stream. Hello, my friend, how's it going? To everyone that's joining, thanks very much for joining. We'll get this anchor out the back because it just seems to be falling on my head. Just wanted it for a little bit of a background touch, but it's becoming more of a nuisance because it doesn't stand up. There we go, that'll do it. So anyway, prelim finals, Richmond versus Geelong, the MCG. This is prediction special. Tom Hawkins is out, he's suspended. I feel like, yeah.
Can you open it?
No. I feel like it's going to be a tall task for Geelong. I'm not saying they can't do it, I just don't think they will. I think Richmond are right now, in my opinion, the best team left in the competition. They have been out for a week, so they might be a little bit slow in getting going. When you've missed a week or two of footy, or a couple of weeks, sorry, I could imagine it'll take a wee minute to get into the game and kind of blow away the cobwebs. But they're a top class side. It shouldn't take long. But I do feel they're going to have too much for Geelong, and they are going to be the winners and find a space in the grand final, which is also going to be obviously at the MCG. So, as Kerry said, on to the next game then, which is Saturday the 21st. Collingwood, the Magpies versus the GWS Giants. There's quite a few people out for the GWS, but obviously you've just mentioned Caniglio as one of them already out. But Whitfield and Toby Green, who tried to get his ban overturned today again, failed miserably with the appeal. There was no way they were going to overturn this appeal. Of course, he got away with one against the Bulldogs the week before, and he just threw egg back in the AFL's faces by trying to do something very similar again with a bit of an eye gouge. I don't think he managed to do the eye gouge as such, but there's certainly an attempt at it, and it's very dangerous play at the end of the day. Very dangerous play at the end of the day. So he will be suspended and have no part to play in this game against Collingwood. I do feel, even if the Giants had a full bill of health against Collingwood, Collingwood are a top side. I still predict the way Collingwood have been playing, you can shut the door down, the way Collingwood have been playing leading up to this point, they have momentum, they have confidence, they certainly have the quality. I feel they would have beat the Giants anyway, but now all these players are out, it is possibly just a step too far for the Giants now. Whitfield, I've seen a stats on games in finals where Whitfield and Green hasn't played and they've lost every time, so that does not look good for them anyway. I don't really look too much into those sorts of stats from years gone by. At the end of the day, different personnel playing, different coaches, different methods of executing game plans, etc. You're coming up against different opposition. It's never going to be the same game twice anyway. So, all that being said, the Giants did do really, really well to get a really close fought win last week against the Lions. I did predict the Lions win there, so both my predictions failed me last week, but I don't think they're going to fail me this week. I think the two Melbourne teams are going to be too strong. I predict that Collingwood win against the Giants and an all-Melbourne final. As I said, leading up to this on Sunday, I thought this would be the case. Nothing's changed. If anything, given the suspensions and injuries as well outside of that, to the two teams, the losing teams, it's just cemented that opinion of mine even firmer. It's made it even firmer for me. So I'm looking forward to it anyway. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I don't want to see an upset here. I just can't see one. It is a prediction special. It's not necessarily the teams that you want to win. It's just the teams that you think will win. But really, really looking forward to it. A couple of comments here. Rangers, my football team, soccer team in Scotland are playing tonight. First game in the Europa League group stages against Feyenoord. A club legend of Rangers has died. He's actually Dutch as well. He's passed away. He's suffering. He was struggling with motor neurons disease since I think 2013 or 14. And it's just a sin looking at a man just fading away to almost skeletal, to the point where he can barely move, and everything's just shutting down on him. He's finally his struggles over yesterday. He's passed away in Scotland, and it's a big game tonight to remember him by. Also being a European night's big anyway. Feyenoord, the opposition, they're Dutch as well. Fernando Rickson's home nation. So I would like to think Rangers will put a bit of a push on. Don't know what the laughing faces are for there. I hope it's not what I'm talking about, because if it is, that's fucking sick. But I hope it's something else. But as I said, hopefully they'll do him proud and they'll get a win tonight. It's a big European game. They are a good side, Feyenoord. It will be tough. If we do win, it'll be a low-scoring game. I'll always go for the win. You'll always back your own side. So I'm going to go either a 1-0 or a 2-1. 2-1 Rangers tonight. Good luck there. So there's another prediction. 3 predictions. 3 predictions there. I only thought I was doing 2, but thanks very much, Ewan, for that. Also, we have a couple other things. I was going to do AFL finals reactions from the grand finals. Just tell him I'll talk to him in about half an hour.
There's a boy here.
Yeah, talk to him in about half an hour. I'm busy. Emily, can you shut that door, please? Sorry for the disruption. 1 second. Right, go. Shut the door. Shut the door. Oh, it's not there. Go on, take it. Shut the door, please. Sorry for the disruptions. Children are unpredictable at the best of times. You don't know what's going to happen. People coming to the door. I actually know Neil Dan. I don't know if I'm going to say his surname right here, but I've watched a lot of his stuff, and he still puts up a fight with that horrible disease. And he's actually kind of, if you can, turned a negative into a positive, campaigning for obviously the big freeze within the AFL. Neil Danaher, I think his surname is. I think that's how you pronounce it. But a real good guy anyway, and he does speeches like sort of. I can't really think of the word, but you know what I mean. Motivational speeches, that's the word. For players within the AFL, you know, just trying to remain positive all the time, and I commend them for that. There's a lot of sports stars. In actual fact, I'm going to go get sidetracked just a couple of people. That's the correct pronunciation. Thanks, Kiri. There's a study done, I think, in Glasgow, actually, in Scotland, that has linked people from sporting backgrounds such as athletics, I suppose, obviously AFL, anything where you're an athlete, you're really physically fit, that can actually be linked to developing motor neurons later on in life. It's not to say if you're fit, you're going to get motor neurons. It's just saying it increases it can increase the likelihood or something of motor neurons disease. So there has been studies into this. Sports stars are, I wouldn't say more commonly get it, but they're increasing their chances of getting motor neurons disease slightly. Those percentages are small, but there is a link there. It's a disease they don't really know an awful lot about, which is strange considering we're curing loads of different things in the world. But there is no known cure for motor neurons disease. So I did feel like it was nice that was mentioned about Fernando Rixonel, a Rangers legend. And indeed, just in the sporting world, it's always sad to see somebody fading away with an illness, or even a family member or somebody you might know. It's a really horrible disease. So thanks very much for mentioning it. It's good for me to be able to get a chance to put a shout out there as well. And there is probably a lot of stars throughout AFL history who's either died from this disease or are struggling with it today or developing it in the early stages. So shout out to them as well. Obviously, there has been a few people passing away in the sporting world recently, and one of them being Spud as well. I have watched a lot of his tributes. Really bubbly character, funny, bit of a joker, no nonsense defender for St Kilda. Obviously, he had died in the car crash, I think, last week now. But a huge loss to the AFL community as a whole. Just given the size of the personality in the man, he was in media after he's done. Obviously, he's been at Richmond. He's coached at Richmond. I don't think it was amazingly great for him in his coaching time, but certainly as a player and as a defender, he was one of the hardest in the game. He let you know you were in a battle for that ball, and he'd have hit you. He had that streak in him, but just a practical joker, a really, really funny guy. And somebody, it's a huge loss, as I say, for the AFL community. It wasn't a guy in terms of footy that I know much about. I have watched some of his stuff now. I've also watched a lot of people talking. Obviously, just Jason Dunster was talking at his funeral. It was good to hear his words and other ex-pros and people that have played with him. One more and then go away because you're having too many of them. They're bad for you, okay?
No.
Lollipops. You have to go out and play. That's a sunny day. We're going to get we get rain here all the time, right? So we've got a few days of sunshine, and they're not going out in it. It's absolutely beggar's belief. And then when it does rain and they want to go out, they won't go out because it's raining. Remain silent. Do you understand? That's all right. We're only having a laugh anyway. But so really good to see his stuff anyway. Career highlights. Just hearing stories about the daft stuff he's got up to in his career, on and off the field, but a true gentleman at the same time. I don't think he had a bad bone in his body, but just an absolute wind-up merchant. And that's what I liked about him, a proper bubbly personality and a character. So that's another big loss this week in the sporting world, which is tied to exactly the channel right now as well. Do I have a... Chris, mate, I seen your comments today. I don't know if I've responded to you yet about me kicking the Sharon. I was actually up yesterday again. Obviously, that was taken 2 days ago. Last night, I went up and I kicked the Sharon again, using the advice from people as in, like, with your dominant hand, release the ball more with your dominant hand over your kicking foot, basically dropping it onto your foot, vertically, point up and down, if you like, just over your kicking foot, and outstretching the foot with your toes pointing outward. And I got so much better just by using these little tips from everyone. And don't have it on camera, so I'm hoping to get up this evening and get a few more stuff put onto camera and show you what a difference a day makes and a little bit of training does. Just the little tips. I did actually watch videos on how to kick before it, but it all went out the window. I got too excited about the fact that I was kicking for the first time and there was a camera on. All tips and advice had went out the window on the day that I did the camera. So when I went up just practicing, I took all the tips and advice on board, and wow, it was a massive improvement. I was kicking goals, loads of them, and when I was missing small, just past the post, so there was behinds. There was one that I really kicked, it was from distance. I tried to go for power, and again, the accuracy went out the window. I think it was about 40, 45 metres out, and I sclaffed it to the side. It wasn't a good shot whatsoever. But I've certainly improved again on the solo run, bouncing it on the point of the ball rather than just trying to bounce it and it going everywhere like a runaway chicken, you're chasing it. But really good advice, so thanks very much for that. I'll hopefully get up to date and show you the improvement. But I'll keep practicing. I had a lot of fun. I was only up there myself for an hour just kicking the footy over either side of a football goal, a soccer goal, boom, 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 from all different angles, but using the short run up and releasing it with the one hand with the ball up and down the way. Massive improvement where the follow through of the kick and the toes pointing out the way rather than kind of just pointing up back towards yourself a little bit more, which will make the ball have a tendency to go up the way and not forwards, which I've learned rapidly. And I want to add one thing here. It didn't happen very often, but about 3 times when I'd hit it straight over the top of the soccer crossbar, right down the middle nearly, boom, from about 35 metres, I actually got the torp effect, the spiral rocket type torp over the crossbar. Wow, it felt good watching it going. It's not on camera, so you've got to take my word for it, but I promise you, I was really excited about seeing that technique when it's left my boot and through. So something I'm going to practice, something I'll get more video footage of as well. All different stuff. I've got ideas of different tricks I can do and different games I can play. AFL had actually released a video, a couple of other YouTubers as well that are doing footy stuff as well. They've actually had Jordan De Goey and Jaden Stevenson. Today it was released. I watched it. They were doing a footy golf thing, which is actually quite bizarre because it was something I was thinking about, putting a few bins out and kicking the ball from different distances, trying to get it either in the bin or as close as possible to the bin because the sharing's quite a difficult thing to kick. But just different things like that, doing videos. So I'm not stealing their idea. I had actually already thought of it. It's just they've already uploaded it. So who cares anyway? A challenge is a challenge. It doesn't matter if somebody's done it first. It's just about having fun doing it. And I will have lots of fun doing it. Hopefully I can get some in the bucket. That's what it's all about. Top bins. I was actually thinking about putting one up into the corner of the soccer goal and trying to kick it, kind of drop goal type kicks, and see if I can get them into the top bucket on the goal frame. They do that in soccer. Could I do it with a sharing? It would be difficult enough with a soccer ball from about 18, 20 yards out, never mind a sharing at maybe a further distance. So that's just all little things I'm going to get going anyway. Yes, that's the ones that they did do that. Favourite AFL player? Favourite AFL player is tough. It depends on the position. But if he had played all year, it would have been Nick Nat. I just think he's different class. But from what I've seen so far, it's going to be between Patrick Cripps, Lachie Neale, Dusty Martin stepping up again, although he had been quiet leading up till the last few weeks of the ladder ending and the finals beginning. He hadn't been that brilliant, but he's certainly a player I enjoy. Any of the Indigenous guys, really, really good, like Charlie Cameron. Oh, I love watching him. One of my favourite players. I liked Michael Waters for a while for the Dockers. Somebody asked me what AFL team I follow. I've got more than a soft spot for the Western Bulldogs now developed. I love them. I just like the team spirit. They're not going to dazzle you. They're not going to play the most unbelievable stuff, but they're a solid team. They play for each other. They play for the jersey. And they made the finals, and that was really, really good. And of course, they're in my favourite combination of colours, the red, white and blue. So I'm going to go out on a limb now and say I think the Western Bulldogs are, even though I'm wearing a Dockers Guernsey here, it was a gift. All the stuff that you'll see on my channel are gifts. They're not necessarily, as I say, teams that I support as such. But if somebody sends me a gift, it's only a nice thing to do in return to actually wear the gift you've been sent or put it on display. At the end of the day, they've went out their way, spent their hard-earned money, went out their way to pay for postage and get it to you. I'm not going to put it away and let it gather dust somewhere. Show some respect, wear it. But as I say, it's not necessarily the team I support, but I'll always wear the clothing, the Guernseys or whatever, scarves or whatever. Obviously, we're coming up to winter now, nearly in the UK. We're never too far away from winter. But exactly, Chris, mate, red, white and blue. Right, the British Bulldogs suit you exactly. I mean, it's a match made in heaven for the likes of me, being a Rangers supporter as well. The Western Bulldogs definitely have a soft spot there. But as I say, I love watching footy as a whole. All teams I'll watch and enjoy. Team that I think is going to win it is Richmond. I do feel that they're just the strongest right now. Feel they're going to win the whole competition. I'm really looking forward to their game. Geelong's going to be without Hawkins, but who was actually brilliant last week. I thought he had a really good game. He's went and done something silly like putting the forearm through. Don't think it was one of the worst things I've ever seen done, but by the letter of the law and the rule book, you can't do these things. It was a rush of blood to the head, silly thing to do. It is something he has got a history of doing, these daft things. And you just wish, and I feel if you're a Geelong supporter, you'd be frustrated by that action because it could have just cost him a place in the grand final. Who knows? I'm not saying he has, but he could have, because he's a big, big, important player for them, along with other ones as well at that team. He's going to be a huge blow. So I would be, if I was a Geelong supporter, very, very disappointed with his actions. Although I can understand them saying it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad, but it was dirty, and it's against the letter of the law. You're giving the umpires a decision to make, to put it into the, to write it down and report it. You know, don't do it. Don't give them any cause to do that and report you. Just get on with the game. There's other ways of hurting the opponent and getting digs in there and leaving something on someone through the letter of the law, the rule book. You know, you could put one on someone, but contesting some a mark, a bit of possession, whatever, a tackle, you can put your physical dominance on someone without actually having to be dirty and dirty Joe them from the side or from behind. It's not very good. But as I say, it wasn't too bad, but they're going to be without him, and I think that'll affect them massively, to tell you the truth. He's a big outball for them, and a great goal scorer. As I said, Port Adelaide mug as well. That was another thing we had been sent there last week off my mate Dylan from the channel. So as all the gifts will take pride of place on the channel, no doubt about that. So Lee, thanks very much for joining. Seen your comment there. I've already given my predictions on Collingwood Giants. You know about injuries to the Giants, suspensions as such. It's been winter in Scotland since the Roman conquest. The Romans did not want to go to Scotland. That's why they built the Hadrian's Wall. They looked up and goes, it's fucking freezing up there. All the nutcases are running around bare topped with a fucking kilt on. Winds going horizontal, chopping through them with hail and snow and rain all in the one go. They're like, we don't need that fucking place. Let those crazy jock bastards have it. We're not interested. And they built Hadrian's Wall to not stop anybody getting in, but to stop anyone going out to Scotland. Nah, don't go there. Absolute savagery up there. Those guys up there are absolutely batshit mental. Let them have their country. But as I say, it has been winter probably. That's alright, darling. It has been, or as I said, it has probably been winter in Scotland since then. We don't get many sunny days, and as you were saying earlier on there, when you're getting the sun, get out and enjoy it. That's the difference between British people and Australian people. You have sun all the time. You know how to behave when it comes. When a British person sees a bit of sun, even if it's fucking 10 degrees outside, taps off, shorts on, outside, barbecue lit, sunbeds out, and overindulge with as much sun as possible with no sun cream and left like a fucking lobster and complain about being sunburnt. But that's the British for you. We're the masters of our own downfall when it comes to the sunshine. But you can't blame us. When you get that little hint of sun, you've got to take it with both hands and enjoy it. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. So, that's my predictions done for today anyway. You woke up, seen the sun, out in the garden, beer in hand, as per, goes without saying. Well, you don't get sunshine all the time, but you're getting sunshine 90% more than what we get. I think Australian people are taller and bigger because they're getting more vitamin D. I think there's got to be something in that. Scottish people get a serious lack of vitamin D. They're very, very angry all the time. They suffer from clear mental health disorders. And I put that down to a severe lack of light. Probably the fact that they're drinking Buckfast at 12 and 13 years old and smoking the old wacky backy, which I don't condone on the channel, by the way, if there's any kids watching. But that's what they're doing in Scotland at a young age. And that's probably why we're smaller. I feel that Scottish people are very, very small. We don't eat the right way. People eat shite junk food. I've got onto this before on a live stream. Can't work out what it is. The only players big in Scotland actually, I think, play for the rugby team, because I've never seen really anybody massive as such. They're only ever in that rugby team. I think they've been freaking bought in from New Zealand or South Africa or somewhere like that. I'm just saying I don't condone it for kids watching at a young age, you know, but if you're of an adult, you're free to do what the hell you like. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm probably going to do the same sort of stuff myself. But as I say, I'm not telling you to go do it. I want that on record. Write that shit down. But anyway. You're not selling Melbourne for me, Lee. I was going to come here. I was going to go to Melbourne, fly into Melbourne, but now you're saying it's freaking raining all the time. I don't need that shit in my life. I don't need that. Right? Because it's going to be when I go, it's going to be, what? June, July. You're kind of winter, springtime. And you're telling me I'm going to get rained on. So I'm going to go from literally coming into sunny weather here in the UK, potential of a little bit of sun, and just go, nah, fuck that there. I'm going to Melbourne when it's pissing down all the time. Clash. Hopefully after a few months you will video it. Right, rolling out the barrel, a 70-metre barrel. If I could possibly even kick it that long, would be good enough. But to kick it and score a goal from 70 metres is another thing. One thing I've noticed on some of these kicking videos, they're not trying to get height in it, and I'm trying to put height in as well, because what I'm thinking in my head is, if you're kicking a set shot, there's going to be people all around that goal area trying to stop that and knock that through for a behind. So I'm envisioning in my head when I'm kicking up training to go for height and distance to stop them from being able to get a touch on it. So technically when I see these guys doing their training videos and they're little grubbers and they're going across the ground, that would be stopped on a set shot. I'm not buying that's a goal. I want to see height. I want to see a little bit of power going into it. Like, no hugging or kissing. Smash! Straight in and for the goal. No fucking about. None of this, oh, do you know what? I got it through the sticks there. Sometimes you're going to get that when you're going out in distance. I just don't have the overall distance, I don't think, in my body to get it a 50-metre kick. I could kick it 50 metres, but not high, like you're seeing with the snow coming down. Those guys are absolute animals that are doing that in the AFL. And not all of them can do it as well, I may add. People are getting height in it from 35 metres, roughly the distance I'm kicking it at. Somebody says you're only kicking it from 10 metres. The video is deceiving. Let me tell you, the angle of the 18-yard box on the left-hand side, 18 yards is probably about, 16 metres. I was about 15 out from that, from where I released the ball from my foot. So you're talking about 35 metres roughly. Who's counting? At the end of the day, it's all about practice and technique. So I did have a little bit of nitpicking there. My challenge to anybody saying you were only a short distance out is put your money where your mouth is. Show me a video of you kicking it and don't judge. I'm trying to show you as a beginner what I'm like as a kicker. Do you know what? I'm perfectly happy for you to judge and say that wasn't very good, take the piss. But when you start saying that wasn't very far out, show me you doing it from further. Show me your technique, get it on video, send it in, and I'll put it on my channel. Don't slag me without showing me you giving it a go. And then we can talk about who done it good and who done it bad. Put your money where your mouth is. That's my challenge to anyone saying about you should do this, that, you did this badly. Put your money where your mouth is. This is a sport you've grew up with, right? You've grew up with it. Kicking Sharons from knee height to a grasshopper. If you're going to give criticism with no constructive side, like if you try to do this, this might work a little bit better for you, I appreciate that. Criticism with a joke is fine, but criticism with no advice or tips, and just leaving it at that. Show me you doing it better. And then you've got the right to slag me off. Deal? Because I've actually improved yesterday, and I guarantee you the next video or two that I do of me kicking different things, I will be a lot better. A lot better. I'm starting to think I've got the knack of how you do it. I did look at the run up in the video and go, what the fuck was I doing with my ass? It was wiggling from side to side. What I was actually doing was running with the two hands straight out in front of me, and you have this tendency to wiggle your body. Didn't know that you did that. I've never ran with this ball in my hand in my life. I've only ever ran my ball at my feet on the grass, kicking it across the grass. So to have a ball in your hand running, I'm not from a rugby background either, so it's not something I'm familiar with running. I would be running with it in one hand if I was running. I take less steps now, 2 or 3 steps, and then boom, right? But I was actually doing a big run up. Don't know why I was doing that, because it wasn't actually giving me any better technique whatsoever, and it was giving me a tendency to wobble. And I was actually releasing the ball on top of my foot with 2 hands, which wasn't giving it a straight down drop, and I also wasn't dropping it straight down. So when I've started doing that, as I was already saying about 10 minutes ago, the actual technique has improved tenfold. So for the next video, when I'm banging them 6s galore like an absolute fucking champion, like an absolute stallion, then if I get any more of these people going, that wasn't very far out, put your money where your mouth is, fella, and show me you kicking a footy from 35 metres out, 6-pointer, and none of your pish across the grass, wee grubbers. Conviction, like Tony fucking Plugger Lockett on steroids. Boom! Right up through the heavens and through the sticks, like you're trying to score a goal, and there'll be a wee pussy about it. Put a bit of power and fucking effort into it, and a little bit of balls. At least I'm trying to go for height, and boom, and go for them. I am relaxed. That's me just having fun, having a little bit of a rant. See, when I rant, I'm at my happiest. Thanks, Kiri, for your... Thank you. Thank you. There's slight positivity in the house. Thank you, Kiri. Star comment today. Loved that. Put in a little bit of power, too much power at times, and when you try and do that and you're not thinking about any form of technique, then your accuracy goes out the window. But I've noticed now, the better that I was concentrating last night, I was up for about an hour, just myself, kicking the ball back and forward. Don't know how many I kicked, loads, well over 100 odd, 150 maybe. Oh mate, the mullet is a thing of unrivaled, rugged beauty. It's badass, what can I say? Up the stadium is waiting. Yeah, I'm coming to Australia. I'm not going to be doing Perth on my first trip just because it's going to be too much, as you can appreciate. Nothing against interstate. I'm actually going to Adelaide. It's just, you know, the size and the geography of Australia. The place is absolutely massive. So it's going to be too much for the family. I'm taking my family with me to Australia. Hopefully 2021, as we've said. Summertime here, your wintertime. Footy season anyway. Kind of halfway through the ladder type weeks. But Perth's probably going to be a little bit too much for us to be able to do on our first trip. But certainly a place. Up the stadium's a stadium. It blew me away at how good it was, especially under the lights when the Eagles were scoring and all the music was playing. It was really, really good stuff to watch. But a lovely, lovely place. Perth's a city I actually want to visit as well, just other than footy, just to see it. So it's certainly something I will do. So thanks very much for that. We'll catch a game. I plan on doing that with people when I come over and visit Australia as well, is catch a footy game, definitely with people. It's like Glasgow to Moscow, and I've never flew from Glasgow to Moscow because that is such a flight. Russia isn't an easy place to get to at the best of times anyway, but just that sort of distance is absolutely crazy. You know, so you can understand why I can't do that. But I will do it on my next trip. So thanks very much anyway. But Lee, you said, Liam, you've said relax there, relax. I'm relaxed, I'm relaxed. I'm perfectly fine. It is something I want to engage. I'm not actually pissed off about the comment. I'm only having a laugh about that. When they says about the distance, it's not very far out. What I want to say is, I want actually people to take up the kicking challenge of kicking it above jumping height for a 6-pointer, and you've got to be able to do that from most angles. So you're going from the left hand side, 35 metres out, kicking it from left to right, not from the pocket now, kind of at an angle, centre, right to left, and then from the pockets, and then give me your best solo run from around about your halfway mark all the way up. Dave! Go on then. There you go. Trendsetter. Dave, I'm not going to say it, mate. I'm not going to say it. Thanks very much for joining the live stream, but I'm not going to mention it. We missed you the last time. We missed you on Sunday, mate. We did mention it. You were. I don't know if you watched the live stream back, but we did mention you, mate. Ewan, mate. You know, I never said nothing. I don't know what you've got going on with an order there, but I never. Yep. Go on then with your sisters. Here. Rah. There you go. Dave's getting problems with joining the live stream. I don't know if his hands are that greasy from the hand cream that when he's pressing the button, he's actually not pressing it right. It's just slipping away because the Avon hand cream has just been freshly applied. I think you're overdoing the hand cream, mate, and it's you're not getting that connection with the live stream. You know what I mean? I understand that the end results of Avon hand cream is sensational. So I can understand them maybe over applying, which is bad. You don't want to over apply. You don't actually get any benefit once you go past a certain amount. Right, so we've got some of the big hitters now on the live stream. Oh, Chris is on to you, Dave. I never thought of it that way. I don't know what he's at. Lad, but possibly. Dave's he's not shy. I mean, he'll tell you. He'll tell you if he's at that. He's not a bit behind the door. A spade's a spade with him. And I admire that most about Dave. He's a real good, down-to-earth guy. They weren't Western Australian types, I think, are just kind of a spade's a spade with them, you know. They don't give a damn. Dave, you don't... So he's having difficulties with seeing me, but he said, something. I can see your stuff anyway. Hopefully you'll get to see the video back. I don't know what's going on with the live stream. Maybe if you go off and go back in again, I don't know, but he's having difficulty there. He is always good banter on the live streams. We enjoy him. I think all the other subscribers that are on as well enjoy Dave's banter. But that's what makes the live stream. They're one of the reasons why I like doing them. So it is pretty late for you guys now anyway, so I'm aware of that. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's game. I'm going to be not too sure what time it starts here. It's usually around 11 a.m. It starts on a Friday. So I'm trying to think. I don't know if I'll be able to get out of my work early tomorrow. I'll probably get the last quarter of that one, which is quite disappointing. I'll probably only get the last quarter, but the last quarter could be the business quarter. It could be where the game's won or lost for a team. So, really looking forward to it, and obviously, we have to... Avon man lady. Watch it and work. Actually... Equal rights to Avon sellers. I've been campaigning for equal rights for Avon sailors for a long time now. They really do get overlooked. Like they always want to say doctors, policemen, people in the forces, the services, people where judges, all the rest of it, the highfalutin people, the politicians always get looked over. But you should never look over the Avon seller, just what they do for the community, the importance of their job within any country, keeping people clean, and there's loads of different things that they could do for you. I mean, or just not only just the talcum powder and the hand cream, which we've discussed, but loads of other things for the house that are essential to life and living and making people's life easier and worth living. And Dave goes beyond and beyond the enemy lines, if you like, really. In some areas, I think I've heard recently he's decided to take a job in Collingwood, which is certainly not a place where they take hygiene very seriously. So for him to do that there, I can't wait to see what the reaction of the local population will be when he comes with his hygiene products and his hand creams, etc. Avophobic. That's what that is. That's what that is, Dave. There's just absolutely no respect. The kids these days, these millennials, they have no idea what. Do you know what? Actually, it just actually got me thinking. Do Avon people still go about the doors, or is Avon just selling their shit online like any normal company would do these days? Just Avon website? Or do they still rely on people knocking doors with catalogues? Perverts coming to the door like Dave in his quagga suit. No way! Seriously, I thought it was getting outlawed that now, trying to sell things in people's doors, because especially for older people, preying on the elderly, the vulnerable, like, give me your money, you know. And they're like, yes, mister. They're throwing their hunt. And you know what old folk are like? None of them put their money into a bank account. They all sleep on it under their mattresses, and they've got jewellery everywhere. They've got rings for every freaking day of the week, like gold passed down to them. Their house is awash with money and jewellery and items worth something. And these Avon sellers come up dressed as quackers, thinking that they're family-friendly individuals. But really, they're slippery little fuckers. I'm actually starting to think I might just boycott AFL altogether and just start an Avon channel, just talking about Avon. I'm doing more for Avon than Avon themselves. Like, apparently they're still selling round the doors. I've not seen one fucking Avon person in my street. I can't remember. Maybe if I was a charity, if that, I can't remember. Avon foot lotion. That is a thing of freaking joy. Oh my word. AFL Avon foot lotion. I'm campaigning for that. That's fucking magic. But I can't remember now what I was going to say. There's been some cracking banter. I've done a few things. Obviously, people that haven't watched the live streams will be like, what the hell is this guy going on to? But it was last Thursday's prediction video. It just all kicked off out of nowhere. Dylan I was talking to Dylan on the phone. I'd been out cutting trees in the back garden, and he then made a comment the next day on the live. That was on the Wednesday, and on the Thursday I did my predictions video live stream, and he said I had hands like an Avon lady, and it kind of just went from there, and it's kind of spiraled out of control. And since that, we've had Willie Raioli getting jobs with Avon. The AFL's been bottled. It's just been all good fun anyway. Just a bit of banter. Somebody said, "Will I do any more reaction videos of grand finals?" I will certainly do it. I had promised to do, was it the 2000 and something video, which I had downloaded. I can't remember which one it was that I said I was going to do. It is downloaded on my phone anyway, so I'll just check what one it is and then I can watch it and do my reaction. But I haven't seen it, and there's certainly going to be more reaction videos anyway on the channel, but I haven't got around to doing it. Did take me a lot longer to edit the footy Sharon kicking video than I thought it would. It takes a lot of effort to do that. And my editing skills aren't great. I mean, what you see is what you get. Basically, it's council estate fucking editing. You know, definitely it's fucking ghetto editing of videos that you get with me. It's none of this fucking high tech university stuff. Laptops that are over £1,000. It's just the most basic of basic. Boom, editing, bang, out you go. There you go. Just ghetto street level gangster fucking video editing, and mixed with some unbelievable unadulterated Sharon kicking joy. That's what I was actually thinking earlier on when I was going on about the household goods. They used to do Tupperware. Was it them that did the Tupperware? There used to be something that went round selling Tupperware. I don't think it was Avon, it was another one. There was another one. It'll come to me after this probably. But people used to actually have Tupperware parties. And they say the youth of today are sad. No, they're not. They were fucking sadder back in the day. Say, oh, they kids never do nothing these days. They're wasting away on the damn devices. They tablets. The old folk. They were fucking talking about the best Tupperware. Oh, these ones have clippable lids. You can lock and close them. Lock seal lids. Pathetic. That was more boring and shite back in the day, you know. Unbelievable. My grandmother, I was having a conversation where there is certain things about back in the day which was way better. Socially, I think communities were way better. You probably could leave your front door open and not worry about being robbed. Unless you were in Collingwood, then the chances of getting robbed... Well, nobody's got anything to rob. Nobody's got anything to rob in Collingwood, so you're actually okay there. You can leave your door open. It's probably the safest place to leave your door open. Actually, they don't even have a door, so there is no door. There's no door. Cardboard boxes don't come with one. Sorry, Leanne. I have to get the Collingwood digs in. They're not the only team that get the abuse, but they're good for a laugh. I actually think Collingwood fans, and people are going to jump down my throat here, but all the Collingwood supporters that I've met are so game for a laugh about their own club over any other club in the AFL. They laugh at themselves. They laugh at the stereotypes and the things that get... like, there's no escaping the jokes. So they just embrace it and laugh about it. So credit to them for being good sports, really, on that one. Like, I've never met a Collingwood fan that's got angry about the stereotypes of having no teeth, kind of being like hobos, bogan type people, but certainly good laugh anyway. I'm going to have to read back in some of these comments. I tried to escape a Tupperware party. They get violent. I ordered the Tupperware in blue and they sent me it in green. And your neighbour comes in with the blue set and you're like, fucking blue set. And that's how fights started back in the day, because fucking Winifred down the road had the blue set when you wanted the blue set, but you had to take the green set because it's all fucking Tupperware had left. Raging. Very, very violent parties, those Tupperware parties. But very, very sad. But anyway, I was having the conversation with my grandmother about things that were maybe better back in the day, and there is no doubt that things were socially better back in the day. I think there was a far greater... Boss Baby thinks so. Tell me, Boss Baby, was it better being a child 50 years ago? Why? Because why? Because why? Because that makes perfect sense. So it was better 50 years ago as a child because... Quantum Dot. Poor Dave. Dave's been dedicated to the channel. Like you're getting your fourth lollipop. I'm a fantastic father, aren't I? Am I the best daddy in the world? Why? Because why?
Because.
Because. Am I the best daddy because I give you 4 lollipops when mummy's not here? Yeah. Feed them full of candy and they love you. That's why everybody liked going to their grandparents' house as well. Your parents always try to give you all the best stuff, like fucking normal meals, vegetables, and oh, I don't want the vegetables. And you do that old trick of spreading your sweet corn and your peas around the plate, like as if you've got this small portion in the middle of the plate of these vegetables, and you kind of spread it out all over the plate, so it looks like there's just little bits everywhere, but it's actually the same amount. It looks like you've ate some, but you've actually ate none. But when you went to your grandparents' house, you've got the fizzy drinks, the sweets, the candy, all that kind of stuff, and they filled you full of the sugar and sent you back to your parents' house, and your mum and dad's like, when you got home, oh, for fuck's sake, they'd have to deal with, naughty word in front of the child. Apologies for that, I got carried away there. Like, for goodness sake, they filled them full of the sweets again, they're hyper, they're coming back to us, high as a kite. But my grandparents used to do the thing where, oh, you get all the good stuff here. You get all the good stuff at this house. You never get this stuff with your mum and dad. I've never actually seen that, you and mate. I'm going to have to check that out later, what you just said there in that message. I don't want to say it out loud, obviously, because of the controversy of the song that you're talking about. But I'll certainly try and get a hold of the Piper doing that. The Pipers are amazing, watching them doing some of the stuff. But certainly want to check that out. But did anybody else do that old trick of spreading the vegetables around the plate because you didn't want to eat them? And there was another thing I used to do when my dad wasn't looking. He was a real Hitler at the table whenever you were eating. Like, you had to eat with your mouth closed, and it was like, if you slapped cereal off the spoon, like, it would give you the look of death, like, you do that again, you're getting the backhand kind of thing. So you were terrified not to make any noise when you were eating, like any of that kind of slapping stuff. Everything was. But anytime he wasn't looking, I'd drink my drink really, really fast. This was a good trick. And I didn't want the sweet corn, say. And then what I would do is fill my mouth full of sweet corn like that. Kid on, I was taking a drink and spit the sweet corn into the cup where they couldn't see it. And then I would say I was going to get another drink, and I'd throw all the stuff into the bin. And then come back with another drink. Tactical genius. The deception of me was just incredible. It was a joy to behold, really. Absolutely brilliant advice. This is something I condone to any child who doesn't want to eat sweet corn, and your parents aren't going to let you leave the table until you've ate your veg. Down all your drink, put it in your mouth and spit it into the cup and say you need another drink and tip it into the bin. You don't want to eat that stuff, but you should eat vegetables. But, you know, everyone was a child once. You know that it's awful. Somebody, I have a Richmond supporter, he's not on the live stream. He's went and bought some merchandise, I believe, and he did mention buying Tim Tams. So Tim Tams, I've actually seen videos of different celebrities trying Tim Tams. I think Margot Robbie did British snacks versus Australian snacks on one of the, like, Vogue magazine or something. She did a wee video on YouTube, and it was just Australian snacks, because these get recommended now when you start doing trying Australian snacks. It'll recommend on YouTube now, so I got to see that. But oh, there you are. Sorry, mate. I never see. Sorry, mate. I didn't realise your thing. Your picture is maybe it doesn't come up very clear on the screen. There he is there. So tell me, mate, have you bought Tim Tams? He might have bought Tim Tams. He is going to buy. I think he bought merchandise as well. He's going to. Thanks very much for your generosity in buying the stuff. Really, really appreciate that. I'm glad I'm getting a chance to actually say that to you rather than typing it to you all the time. So thanks very much for going out your way. One, going out your way and buying it. Two, thinking of the gifts as well. That's another thing, just even to think to do it. So appreciate it. Buying it with your money and then obviously posting it over really, really means a lot. And I can't wait to do a video for you and give you the shout out as well. Hope you enjoy your reaction to trying the Tim Tams as well and the other gifts that you might have sent. So greatly appreciated, mate. Thank you very much. So the children really love all the candy and stuff that's being sent as well. So that's been really fun for them to, obviously, anything, if it's chocolate or candy, sweets, whatever you call them, anything with sugar, basically. Kids are all over that like a rash, aren't they? Rah, 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 like Tasmanian devil going on. Rah, rah, rah. Absolutely love it. Real good stuff anyway. There's an awful lot of banter going on in the background I'm kind of missing, and I wish I was keeping up with it, but I've been answering other people. Mater, like, tomato, not too sure if you want the shout out just now, but anyway, that's who's buying this some Richmond stuff for me. Thanks very much, mate. I'll give you a shout out now, but I'll certainly give you a personalised shout out in the video too. Somebody else made a comment there. Thanks very much. I think you were saying about the videos, you enjoy watching them. That's greatly appreciated. Don't know if you're new to the channel. It's not something I recognise as such just now from any live streams and talking, so you're very welcome to the live stream. They are good banter. If you've got if you want to slag me, feel free. It's all good fun. I enjoy it. I've got to really say, I'm slightly disappointed for Dave that he's not beating it. You're going to have to brush your teeth about 25 times the amount of lollipops you've ate, haven't you? You go through a whole tube of Colgate. Colgate, a very good brand of toothpaste. Wonder will I get anything for that, mentioning them there. I mentioned them by accident. Avon should be giving me a lifetime supply of Tupperware, hand creams, talc. We've done nothing this last week but mention them. They at least owe me something. I've even tagged them in my videos. He probably can give me a discount on toothpaste, but apparently he's run out of stock because he's obviously moving into the Collingwood area, and the little to any teeth that the Collingwood supporters have left, he's donating to the Collingwood area, the wider Collingwood community, of any Colgate he has left, so he has to wait till the next shipment comes in. It's a bit like, mate, put it into context what Collingwood's like, it's a little bit like Aberdeen. The combined population of Aberdeen have a set of teeth between them, and it's not a very good set. Good night, Dave, mate. Sorry you couldn't join in. It's been a problem for you. I hope you enjoyed the live stream back anyway. We missed you on Sunday, and it's been a little bit disappointing not to get you properly. You don't brush my ear with that. The Collingwood choke. Recreate to I love it when Collingwood choke. I know the song. I can't sing, but what I could do for you, I quite like this idea. If Collingwood choke, which they may well do, I'm not saying I want them to. I'm not saying I don't want them to. But if they choke, I'll do you a deal. If Collingwood choke and they become the Colin Wobble for the second year in a row, I will recreate I love it when Collingwood choke, and I walk down the street doing all the daft stuff that they do in the video. Alright? But I'm obviously not able to sing it, so what I'll do is I'll steal the audio from the original video and just reenact me and the children loving it when Collingwood choked. Apologies, Leanne. Apologies. Your team and your area is getting it tight right now. You know that I don't mean it. It's nothing personal. It's just fun. And I hope any Collingwood supporter that tunes into my channel doesn't get pissed off. But any Collingwood supporter that I have had on my channel has been absolutely really, really good banter. And I've enjoyed the banter with them. And do you know something? Don't be afraid to kick the boot into me as well. Like, if there's anything that you want to slag me for, slag away. Tear me a new arsehole. I deserve it. If I'm going to be sitting here slagging you, you slag back and slag back better. That's what you do. That's what it's all about. Who is my favourite Essendon player? Well, obviously the song with Anthony McDonald, Tip and Woody was great. And he's one of those players that just has that little bit of energy. And that's just magic about him. Who's my favourite player? I'll tell you somebody who I like was Sadie. Some of the runs that he goes on, I think he's quite an influential player back there. Quite liked him. Quite like Conor McKenna from round about you.
I hear something.
Is that the police? Can you hear the police?
No.
Who is it?
That's the ambulance.
Ambulance! Oh dear. Oh dear. Somebody's maybe sick? No? There's an ambulance going past. So there's actually a few players I like. Off the top of my head, I've just went blank with the players there. But anyway, thanks for the question. Essendon actually were a team that went for a good spell there just before the last couple of weeks of the ladder ending, and then they just crumbled, didn't they? Really. But even when they won those 5 games, they weren't overly convincing in how they went about winning them. But what they did show was great kind of fight to go out and get the win, when maybe fighting from positions of being behind as well. So they showed good character. They're not awash, I would say, with a lot of exceptional players, but they do play as a team that kind of do fight for each other. They did finish 8th in the ladder, so they didn't have a bad year. They didn't have a great year, but they didn't have a bad year. I think for a club their size, they would be looking to be in the top 8 near enough most years, wouldn't they?
Australia's Island.
You still have to check out Shane Crawford. I will check him out. I want to shout out to a guy.
Australia Island.
The ambulance is away. Just retired, ex-Hawthorn player. Brisbane Lions. He's just retired. My head's went blank. Help me out, because I've been watching his stuff all day. I do this sometimes, and every sport I do this. I could be watching the guy, and I've known him for years, and Thingy-my-bob, what's his name? Thingy-my-bob, Thingy-my-jiggy. 4 premiers with Hawthorn. He was at the Lions. He's just retired. What's his bloody name? Help me out. Absolutely outstanding player. No, nobody's given me the name. Now I feel like a dick. Somebody help me. Not Shane Crawford. Hodge. Hodgie. I actually said it before Sammy put it up. Luke Hodge. Somebody said Luke. Yes, Luke. Luke Hodge. What a player he was. They put up loads. AFL put up some stuff. Brisbane Lions put up stuff of just his Brisbane Lions years. And some of the stuff that boy was doing, what a player. So there's another great player of the game. Obviously, Ruffy, who was a teammate of his at Hawthorn, he's retired. Just loads of good guys from that particular team now retiring. It's almost the end of an era of that type of player. Really, really good players. They are a lot more athletic looking now, the players, aren't they? Maybe a little bit more leaner. Not that he was big. He was lean, but I'm saying certainly for some of the guys within the AFL right now, they're definitely a leaner, more athletic, pacey player. From even in the last 15 years, you can see they're built for power and speed. They're just absolutely finely tuned machines now. They think they've got all the right people working in the background. Since it's become a professional sport, obviously the money in the game's going up and up and up and up and up. You're getting more professional people behind the scenes, such as physios, masseuses, nutritionalists, just all sorts of people behind recovery, doctors, club doctors. There are just so many people that are experts in the field being employed by each club now. They're spending good money on that. And what a lot of people don't realise in any sport, particularly professional sport, is recovery is almost as important. So if you've played a game, the recovery is almost as important as the training, the fitness that goes in. The recovery is vital to actually getting a guy back out on the footy field on the Friday or Saturday again and playing at his best. So recovery is huge in the game. They've things that they put on their legs now, like machines, aren't they? They put their legs in big leg things, warmers and coolers. They massage the leg as well. I mean, the technology is phenomenal. But so that's what I'm getting at. When you look at the players nowadays, to what I've watched even in highlights or videos on YouTube that I've not that I watch footy videos all the time. And it's not necessarily just what you see me reacting to is what I'm watching. I'm watching loads, hours of stuff every week. And the difference in the older generation player, and even in the last 15 years, even if you like from the year 2000 up to the year 2019, you can actually see a leaner footy player across the board. I'm not saying there's not individuals like Big Mumford. There's big guys out there. There's big boys out there. The basketball type player, it's not actually a type of player I like. If you're looking at ruckman like who I love, like Grundy and Nick Nat and other one, they're not overly heavy. They're not overly tall, but what they are is they've got a great spring, a bounce on them. They're like Tigger, boom, out of nowhere, up, boom, like Sonic the Hedgehog jumping on a springboard and away he goes. That's what they're like. They're not necessarily the biggest, tallest guys, but what they lack in maybe height, they're actually making up for in jump. But they're leaner, they can play the game, they can move quicker, they're sharper, they're quicker to get onto their touch. Big Mumford's not going to follow up much of his contested stuff in the air, is he? He's not contested clearances and stuff. He's not that quick. He's not going to do it. He's going to hit you hard. He's going to leave a tackle on you. He's going to put you to the ground, but he's not going to follow on to something that he's knocked on, is he? And attack you in a burst of pace. And that's kind of what I'm getting at here when I look at the modern day player. They're a more finely tuned machine. They're moving quicker than the guys 20 years ago. They're moving, they're obviously, they're in some ways stronger than the guys 20 years ago. Maybe not in terms of fighting, raw, animal, barbaric, boom, thumping strength, a Biff type strength, but they're stronger in other aspects. I could imagine getting hit at a guy who's running faster, that's still 16 stone, is far sorer, he's leaner, but it's probably far sorer than somebody that's running slower at a Mumford type size, hitting you slower. It's probably an easier thing to get hit. Can you imagine somebody like Mitch Robinson or Ben Cunnington hitting you at full speed? The power that they're going in is probably way sorer than getting hit with a Mumford type player. That's what I'm getting at. And a lot of these guys have that kind of build, and I enjoy watching it. I think the game's better nowadays. I actually do. From what I've seen, I think it's improved in so many areas. The areas that you don't want to see change. You know what the AFL's like for wanting to change stuff. They're forever wanting to change stuff. I'm just reading a couple of comments here. They are forever. They're hell-bent on changing stuff for, obviously, the commercial aspect of the game. Maybe there's sponsors offering a little bit of money, but, you know, if we're going to invest our money in this sport, we think you need to tweak this because it could harm our investment. Whatever the reason, the method behind their decision-making is, or the reasoning behind their decision-making, is, you know, it's usually down to money, but the one side that you don't want to see changed is the physical aspect of the game, the tackling, the hard hits. You want to keep it in there. Within the rule book, you don't need to be dirty to be hard and hurt somebody. You can hurt somebody. You can it's not that you're trying to hurt someone and injure them for a long, long time. But when you get on that footy field, of course you want to take them out. By the rule book and in the letter of the law. And the rule book actually states, and the letter of the law says, the game should be played in the sort of true spirit and physical side and like hard hitting side of the game, basically. Whatever the exact wordage is, you know what I'm getting at. That's what it is. It's got to be played in the most 100% committed fashion that the game was built upon. That should never be taken out. It should never be diluted from that. But you don't need the old school enforcer to be able to hurt someone. That's what I'm getting at. You'd still take out the opposition within the rule book. There's aspects that I would say that I enjoyed. I think there's people were technically, and when you look at Gary Ablett Senior, I think you're going to struggle to find a guy that was as technically gifted as that man. An absolute wizard. Obviously the kicking side of the game, the kickers back in the day were far better, whether it was drop goals, whether it was set shots, whatever, any type of shots, shooting from distance, long kicks, technically, even with game plays as such, the little knock on to the receiving forward who's running past, might find a bit of space. I think in and around the rucks they were a little bit more clever from some of the footage. Across the board, I think they were a little bit more aware. Forwards were a little bit cleverer. Maybe back in the day, I'll give them that aspect of it. But I like the style of the modern game with the 6, 6, and 6. I do feel that the ground that the guys are covering now, there's a lot of footy being played on display. I mean, it's absolutely non-stop. Absolutely non-stop. It's frantic at times. Like, 4 20-minute quarters, but they're actually playing for about half an hour a quarter with all the stoppage time and stuff. So you're talking around about 120 minutes of footy, right? These guys are sprinting with 4 guys, and if anybody get injured, maybe 3 guys rotating. The guys are absolute athletic machines, and they're sprinting so much. But this 6, 6, and 6, I like the way it's set up. It has a flow to the game. I'm not too sure of the tactics, game plans of the past, but there was certainly technical side of the game that I think is lacking in the modern game. With the kicks to goals this year that I've watched, from videos that I've been asked to do a reaction video of this guy, and the goal kicking back in the day with your Dunstalls, even Big Mad, Wacko Jacko, like Ablett, it was another one. Like, so many guys could kick back then, and it's an art that is definitely limited. When you look at Buddy Franklin's one of the only guys in the last 10 years or so that's getting up close to 1,000 goals in his career. Anybody else is miles away from that. So there we have it. There's just aspects, as I say, of the modern game that I really enjoy. If you could find a little bit of the technical side of the old game, there's players today that are absolutely magic as well, though. There's guys that they just turn it on and just win a game for you. They're an absolute joy to watch. I mean, a young Eddie Betts, there's no denying. Obviously, he's a bit too old now. I think at the Crows, I think he started to see towards the end of this year, Eddie Betts tiring. He wasn't hitting the peaks that he had set throughout his career. You could see it sort of slipping away from, but certainly a player that I enjoyed watching at times this year as well. Like, some of the trickery and the magic, you could just turn it on, score from nowhere, an absolute pleasure to watch. Those Indigenous players just have that little bit of trickery and that magic. Young players as well. I mean, I've mentioned quite a few young players. I'm doing a rising star. I believe it's between either Walshy, Rosie, Sydney Stick, or Dursma from Fremantle Dockers for my rising star medal. I think between those 4 guys, there's only one left in it from the guys that I mentioned, which is Sydney Stack at Richmond. Absolutely phenomenal year he's had. A great young player. He's got a lot of potential. He could be a fantastic player in the game.
Noise?
I don't know, darling. I'm going to have to finish this live stream now anyway, okay? And then I'll come out and we'll get some tea on the go. Anyway, just a good bit of footy chat. I know that you are talking a lot of Avon there. People were asking me. The reason why I've not had the banter as such on this one is I've got a lot more people coming on there, and I noticed a lot of comments from people who don't necessarily join the live streams maybe just as much, or are new to the channel. So when I get asked the questions, I wanted to answer some of them on certain things. I will be doing, as I said, reactions to grand finals as well. A lot of hard bastards. Dermot Brereton played with the broken ribs, obviously. The 89 grand final against Geelong. That was one of the most hard-hitting, most crazy grand finals of the last 30, 40 years anyway, isn't it? The way that one spilled over. And it was certainly a build-up to that over time. This wasn't just something that had just happened on the day. There was no love lost between these two sides and maybe individual players. And Dermot Brereton and the big man from Geelong who done his ribs in the first play. Dermot would have played without 2 lungs. I mean, the guy was a fucking... He was just a warrior, wasn't he? Top quality player as well. And he went on, correct me if I'm wrong, but in that 89 grand final, he scored about 4 or 5 goals with broken ribs after he got the broken ribs in that game. and I think he'd done something to his kidney as well. He's either bruised his kidneys or something as well in that game. So he's went through the pain barrier for the team, and his kick. Dunstall was impressive. I mean, he was another hard man. Harder players back in the day, you know, but I think harder mentally, certainly harder mentally back in the day, and they were game as anything. They would have ran through a brick wall for the cause. Maybe that side of it, they had a little bit more more guts maybe back in the day than what they do now. But I do feel that in certain aspects they're physically stronger. I do feel just with the training aspect, all the people, the recovery, the sports massage, the nutritionalists, sports psychology, sports science, the sports science side of it, they're bound to be physically stronger, but not mentally, not necessarily mentally stronger or mentally gamer, more guts and heart and courage is what they would have had back in the day. Like the aspects of back in the day, I absolutely loved. But Barry Hall, one of my favourite, but Barry Hall's been mentioned. Absolute animal. He's fighting in a fight against is he a rugby league player? Or is he somebody? Boxing background anyway. Two of them are going to be fighting Barry Hall. I wish Barry Hall all the success in the world. I hope he wins that. I love Big Buzzer Hall. Nutcase beyond belief. But you right, so no. Nutcase beyond. Just 1 minute. I'm going to have to call the live stream at an end anyway. There's something going on there, so I'm going to have to call the live stream at an end. Thanks very much for everybody that joined in. I'm going to have to watch and read the review, the comments in the section afterwards because there's so much banter going on with the Avon, the Tupperware stuff. But I got sidetracked talking about footy. After all, this is a footy chat, so I should actually be talking about footy, not Avon anyway. Avon is one of the most talked about things on the channel now. Okay. Yeah, Avon is there's a guy on the channel, I'm not going to mention any names, but he's got a really unhealthy obsession with all things Avon. Really unhealthy obsession with all things Avon. And actually, in fact, I think he's needing to seek medical advice over this issue, but anyway, that's beyond the point. Thanks very much anyway for everybody that's joined the live stream. For anybody new, I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll always try and talk back to you. Do follow me on Instagram. Morning, Mark. I'm just about to leave here because I'm going to do the tea for the kids. I'm sorry you're going to miss me there. Thanks very much for joining. I hope you'll watch the live stream back. With a lot of footy talk there, a lot of nonsense getting spoke as well. So I hope you can get a chance to watch it back. Leading up, of course, to the big games this weekend, the preliminary final, so you can see my predictions, being the main reason of the live stream. But for anybody who's new to the channel, as I say, check me out on Facebook and Instagram and stuff. And I'll always try and get back to you on all those things as well. They're in the description section below, so you can follow me on them. I'll always talk to you. And all of our other things, just get the things out of the way now as well. Don't forget to subscribe and put the notifications bell on. That'll alert you to the videos when we release them. That's what a lot of people don't do. They subscribe and don't put the bell on, and you don't get an alert to any videos that we've uploaded, and you'll miss it. So do put the bell on. And also, we do merchandise on the channel. If you've not seen that and you're new, we do baseball caps, polo shirts, hoodies, sporty zipped hoodies, which are very popular, and they're good quality. They're all good quality stuff. I've sourced for the channel, and they're reasonably priced. There is a delivery charge, of course. I'll try and work with you. So if you want one, talk to me on private messenger. I might be able to do you deals on some stuff if you're interested in any stuff, because I do appreciate it costs a little bit more to post it to Australia than it would to post it to people here in the UK, etc. So I have to take that into consideration. And Patreon as well. If you want to become a patron of the channel, you can. We've got bronze, silver and gold packages, and I'm giving away baseball caps after 3 monthly payments on the Patreon page. So if you're a patron in the gold package, after 3 monthly payments, I'll give you a free baseball cap and free delivery. I'll post it out to you, and I hope you'll enjoy that. And there's one other thing. Oh yes, the AFL mullet. I'm sponsoring the AFL mullet to help I've been talking too long. Raise money for our Australia AFL trip. This is the mullet. We're at stage 3 in the mullet. I'm taking sponsorships for the mullet, and all the proceeds are going to helping fund their Australia trip. So it's all a bit of good fun anyway. I appreciate people might think I look ridiculous. I get quite a lot of slagging here for it, but I absolutely love it and I don't care. But I'm taking sponsorship. If you want to do that, that's all in the description section below. Anyway, most importantly, thank you very much for all your support and for anyone who's been from the start, your continued support. I really, really appreciate it. And people who sent gifts in the past and sending gifts, I know there's people there. Thank you very much. That'll never be taken for granted either. I really appreciate that. I'm looking forward to some of those items coming that are en route. Thank you. And I'll talk to you all soon. And I'll do my Sunday thing as normal. My weekend review of all the games. And I hope you'll enjoy the footy. And if your team's playing, all the best to your team. And you have a great weekend. Thanks very much, everyone. I'll see you later. Goodbye.